Families that came to Dearborn from all over the world have become a big part of this city's history.
Hi, I'm Jill Chocol, Executive Director of Student Achievement for Dearborn Public Schools, and I'm here to talk a little bit about what I found out about my family history in the process of researching some of the work that we're doing for the Dearborn Big Read. Here in America, we've all come from a different place, and I knew that my family years ago had come from Scotland, but I didn't know anything about my family. My maiden name was Donaldson, and my family name was McDonald. And so my brothers and sisters and I would joke around about old McDonald had a farm and that kind of thing, but I really didn't know anything about my family. So my grandmother passed away in 1996, and her papers sat around in a big trunk at my mother's house for years and years. And so a couple of years ago, I got the trunk and started going through it during a school break, and my attention was caught by this piece of paper. And the heading on the piece of paper said the Dearborn Historical Museum, and of course I worked for Dearborn, and I looked at it, and I'll read it to you. It says, to Mrs. Bryant W. Donaldson, that is my grandmother, on behalf of the Dearborn Historical Commission, we have the honor to return grateful acknowledgement for the gift of a photograph of Fred James McDonald and a framed photograph of 3 generations, Fred J., his son Clifford, and father John C. McDonald, for whom the McDonald Elementary School in Dearborn was named. And I looked at this piece of paper and I thought, I'm working in a school district with a school that was named after my great-great-grandfather. That was stunning to me. I didn't know that. So I started to look through the family history, and one of the first things I did is I went to the school and got a picture of my great-great-grandfather, John C. McDonald, because of course it's hanging in the front office. And in school districts, cities, there is a rich tradition of naming important buildings after prominent and illustrious people. So I thought, well, what did John C. McDonald do in order to get the school named after him? So I found a copy of the family tree, and so the family here dates back to 1834, which is when John C. McDonald was born. And in the process, I also found out his son went ahead and founded the McDonald Coal and Brick Company in Detroit. So I have all of these connections that I'm now aware of, but I still didn't know a whole lot about John Coulter McDonald. So I since have learned that he had a farm in the township of Greenfield, which of course is now in the area of Greenfield Road, and the area later was annexed by the city of Detroit. So he founded McDonald Elementary School, and that area was part of the original farmland. The only other piece I've been able to find is a ledger entry, a census entry from 1850. And it shows John C. McDonald as a farmer and lists his age here as age 16 and talks about the worth of his property. So knowing that we all have a history, it was a very unique experience, and when I get to the point of getting a little bit more time, I'm going to look more into the history of John C. McDonald to determine what else I can find out about him. So that's my story of where some of my ancestors came from.